My brothers and sisters, have a good day. I would like to inform you about candidate for Istanbul mayor, his personality, Mr. Ekrem, profile, behavioral pattern, voice tone, discourse, hypocrisy, shamelessness, dishonesty, arrogance. Ekrem, Mr. Ekrem is a project, a national security issue. He is FETÖ's candidate and is being protected. This is not an election matter. It is an attempt to take over Istanbul city for a second time. Ekrem İmamoğlu is a project. Those who fail to understand this today will certainly understand it tomorrow and be in misery. They will be in misery because of the law they have for their country. Those who think everything that is written or speech here is an election issue will be in misery. He feels not on the spirit of Turkey but from the power of those trying to better Turkey. He is the extra, the hitman of the Istanbul scenario they protected and kept hidden until now, who they presented as a candidate and whose campaign they are running. He is not of the Republican People's Party, CHP. He is not a CHP candidate. He is a FETÖ terrorist organization candidate. He is a project designed by those that used FETÖ to cause trouble for Turkey. He is the project of those that fusilated people on July 15, 2016. And his personality profile, behavioral pattern, voice tone, discourse, hypocrisy, shamelessness, dishonesty, arrogance, his personality profile, professionalism in deception and lying, his ability to easily maneuver, impersonate all kinds of personalities, his claims, aggressiveness, his falling apart when he goes off script, his lack of own words, his lack of specific gravity. They are all the product of a project, a very good operation. Never before have I seen someone able to tell a lie with the same seriousness as the truth. He's a complete professional. He lists his lies one after the other, looking people in the eye or on television without hesitating at all. What will people say? As you try to figure out which of his statements are true and which are lies, you cannot catch a clue from any of his physical expression or expressions. He can openly reject even something millions know to be true by saying, no, it is not like that. This is shamelessness, insolence, pride, arrogance. It is a true example of destruction in Turkish politics. He is under international protection, but why? He is under international protection. He receives support from the United States, European Union countries, their extensions in Turkey. It is no coincidence that today they stood as an alliance behind whoever was released on the ground against Turkey, against our country's great march, against its rise. The same groups that supported FETÖ on July 15, that still following in that path today, that are trying to take revenge from Turkey, have been positioned behind İmamoğlu today, regardless of their political identities. The real multinational project is not İmamoğlu, but this alliance, the dangerous wave approaching Turkey through this alliance. He is protected within two. FETÖ files are kept hidden. Why? He goes to Europe, to Greece, to the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. He makes completely opposing statements against Turkey's stances, even with respect to the S-400 or S-400 muzzles. Beyond the capacity of a mayor, he repeats his master words. Our nation, our country is warned through him. This is the real multinational project. He is simply a puppet. He is being protected within two by pro-tutelage circles, power circles, capital circles. FETÖ files are being kept hidden. Corruption cases are being kept hidden. The FETÖ investigations on companies he is a partner are being negated, with those companies justified by a second hand. He is on bad terms with whoever is FETÖ's enemy. Why? Who was going to send those data to? İmamoğlu has been on bad terms with the same state institutions, the same groups and organizations FETÖ has identified as enemies in this country. He has identified as friend, and for the same people FETÖ has identified as friend and foe and acted accordingly. He showed his true colors when he assumed the title Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality Mayor for a very short period through theft. He tried to copy the municipality's data as soon as he came. Had he succeeded, where was he going to send this data? He was going to send it to the same country that FETÖ sent the state's cosmic information, intelligence. He was going to send it to the same intelligence network to which FETÖ is connected. He was going to provide materials for the cases in the United States. This is not an election issue. This is not a municipality issue. This is an attempt to take over Istanbul for a second time. This is not an election issue. It is not a municipality issue. It is not about who will become Istanbul's mayor. This is not a competition between Mr. Binali Yıldırım and İmamoğlu. This is the staging of the Istanbul leg of the new multinational operation against Turkey. It is an operation aimed at abusing national statements, religious statements, patriotism statements to weaken this country's national resistance. A multinational project has mobilized again after FETÖ and focused on Istanbul. It is the attempt of those who failed to take over Istanbul on July 15, opening Istanbul to debate for a second time, to take over Istanbul for a second time. Istanbul is the first leg of the great project which will be followed by the rest of Turkey. Istanbul will be handed over to FETÖ. This is the plan. He is going to be made to win the election with the support of a vast coalition within and outside, and Istanbul will be handed over to FETÖ. This is the plan. This man who is playing with Turkey's nerve endings, it's part of an extremely dangerous game, just as FETÖ is an outside intervention agent. He too is an intervention agent. His campaign is in no way local because he himself is not local. He is a means to go to a showdown with Turkey, a bullet to be shot at Turkey. They are trying to stab you in the heart by fooling you with democracy, with sweet words, with everything is going to be just fine. Fairy tales. Wake up. He is a national security issue. He will be in Pennsylvania in the United States in no time. This is not a Justice and Development Party, AK Party, CHP issue. This is not about an internal political identity or taking sides either. This is the fight of the local and the one in the multinational front. This is the fight between Turkey's resistance and the outside intervention front. Those who are unable to comprehend this today will certainly see it and be in Mazari tomorrow. They will be in Mazari for this country, for our nation, for our Turkey. İmamoğlu is a national security issue. This man who has been presented to you in the name of a showdown with His Excellency President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is actually a means to go to a showdown with Turkey. He is the hitman of the opposite side of the Aegean, the west of the Thrace in Istanbul's 566 years fight. Whether he is elected or not, he will not be void of the national security aspect. Sooner or later, he will be in Pennsylvania. He must have already made presentation in this direction anyway. Who did the corruption files, the FETÖ files? Why? The following questions require answers. Who presented him as a candidate? Who imposed him on the CHP as candidate? Who kept him out of sight and protected him, prepared him for today? Why was he not touched after July 15? What was his role in that attack? Why was the FETÖ case investigation not revealed? Why was it kept hidden? Who hid it? Who hid it? Why and by whom? Were the corruption in Beylikdüzü, the corruption cases, his loutish behavior, incidents where he raided construction sites and beat people have been suppressed? Why was there no focus on the international support he received? He's standing behind the anti-Turkey groups, those who attack our country, being among that support. Why have such discussion been kept off the agenda? Why don't they make even a single statement in support of Turkey? What kind of an Istanbul debate was started through İmamoğlu? Why was the history, the political dimension of this debate not pursued? Through what PR operations and through whose direction were such suspicions suppressed? Why did certain conservative circles side with him? Who gave this instruction? What pushed them to this front? It is simply a resentment of Erdogan or multinational connections. Why do İmamoğlu and those behind him make no statements in support of Turkey's interest? Why do they not take a stance toward the military activity in the East Mediterranean, Cyprus, and the Aegean? Why are they quiet about Turkey's siege? Or are they also the inside partners of that great projects? So what is İmamoğlu doing here? How is a man like him going to come to lead Istanbul? How will Istanbul be handed over to a man who has no respect to the state, no respect to the people, who is on the other side in Turkey's historic fight? Why did the Constantinople discussion start again with his name, İmamoğlu against the Turkey axis? We will continue after the election. We are going to continue the discussion without cassation, whether he is elected or not. A trade beyond the election is in question, and we are not going to ignore it. We are going to continue the same fight against İmamoğlu and those behind him, just as we are fighting for Turkey, because we are on the Turkey axis. This is the highest political identity for our country. If they are coming to our country with historical codes, we are going to block them with historical claims. We will continue after the election. Thank you very much, dear my brothers and sisters. God bless you all.